guys, it's Mari. Kelly and I have a really fun project this week for our challenge. We challenged ourselves to use 5 things from this alphabet list from Paper Tray Ink. And you can see the 5 things that I chose just in the text there. And I'm starting off here with a cut file from the Silhouette Design Store that says Naughty and Nice. I'm going to use that as my title. And I'm going to back that with this really pretty embossed paper from Basil. And I'm just going to stick that black paper behind the title so that it really pops off the page, and you'll just see me glue that down. And I'll just talk about the 5 different things that I used off of that list as I go through the layout here in the process. So I wasn't really sure at this point what way I wanted that title to go, if I wanted it on the side of the layout or how exactly I wanted it. So I'm still thinking about that as I'm working away here. I'm just taking those pieces of the alphas and just replacing the little white pieces there just to finish up the text. And I really love this title, Naughty and Nice. I think it's really cute with this photo of the kids. Notice how Brady's on the naughty side and Bailey's on the nice side. Yeah, that was definitely my plan here. Anyways, so I really love this stamp, and I've used it tons in my art journaling and some in my scrapbooking too. But I wanted to use that for behind the photo, and I didn't want to just ink it up so that it was square. I wanted to get kind of just a little bit of the pattern here and there behind the photo. So I'm just taking some black hybrid ink from My Favorite Things, and I'm just inking that up there onto the layout so that it provides a mat for where the photo is going to go. And I just wanted it to be, like I said, in just a really irregular shape. So I'm just getting a little bit more ink kind of going up vertically above where the photo will be. So I really like how that looks. I think it provides just a really kind of distressed look as a background for where my photo is going to go. And you saw the dimensions of that photo there. I think it's 3.5 by 3.5 or something like that. I like working with square photos. I'm not really sure why, but I just like that. And I have left a little bit of a border around my photo. Now, one of the things I chose off that list was 2 different stamp sets. And you can see that I've used that one stamp there, and now you can see that I've pulled another stamp set in here. This is one designed by Lisa Dickinson from the City Sidewalks kit from Scrapbook and Cards Today. And I just took the snowflake, one of the snowflake stamps off of there. And now another technique I'm using on this layout is some heat embossing. And that was another thing that was on that alphabet list. So I'm just going to take and heat emboss with some clear embossing powder, some of these snowflakes onto the layout. And I really love how they look when they're all finished here. I thought about doing some ink blending over top of them, but I'm really thinking about doing a clean layout here and a really subtle layout. And as I'm working through, I'm thinking about that, and I really love how this clear embossing powder looks. And I just decide that I'm just going to go with that and not add any color to those snowflakes. Now, this is an adorable little stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh. And I really love some of the smaller snowflakes in this set, so I decide that I'm going to add some of those as well and heat emboss those as well with that same clear embossing powder. So you'll just see me add that embossing powder again and do a little more heat embossing here. And this is just, it's a really simple way to add some really nice detail to a layout. Oftentimes we forget about our heat embossing in scrapbooking. We tend to just use it on cards and other projects, but it does look really, really nice on your scrapbooking projects as well. Now, I don't know how many times I turned this photo around, about 5, I think, before I decided how I was cutting the paper. But anyway, I also decided I wanted to just distress the bottom edge of that a little bit, just to add a little bit more texture to that photo layer. So I'm going to just use that really pretty Felicity Jane blue paper behind the photo. And now I'm just going to take a bunch of things that I had picked out of my stash to maybe use on the layout. I wasn't really sure. Now those 2 snowflakes to the left of the photo right now are from Mistletoe Kisses, and I really love those, and I end up keeping those. But a lot of the other things you'll see me try here, I don't end up keeping. I just I don't know, they just don't feel right. They seem a little bulky or too much. And I just, like I said, as I'm working through this layout, I just really want a nice, clean layout in the end. Now, I don't know how I missed cutting that top paper that's on the layout already off camera. I must have done it without clicking go on my camera. But anyways, that first piece that you see at the top there is Jen Hadfield Pebbles collection. I can't remember. I think it's called Warm and Cozy or something like that. And it's just a really nice wood grain piece that I thought looked really nice on here. And it's just sort of got a really subtle print on it. It's white with a little bit of gray in it, and I just like how that looks with this wintry theme. And then I just took another piece of that same Felicity Jane paper, that blue that the photograph is matted in, and I added that to the top. And I also added that wood grain paper to the photo mat as well. I'm just gonna size that down a little bit so that it's not too large. And that is going to be how I am building that photo mat. So another thing that I chose off that list was dry embossing. And this is just I just used a little embossing folder on this piece of white cardstock. And it's just a little polka dot embossing folder for the Cuttlebug. And I just embossed that. And now you can see that I've just added some texture to that with a punch. And I'm going to just, add that onto my photo layer there just to create a little bit more texture and dimension for that layer. Now, I was thinking about using that little wood veneer button that you see over top of the snowflake to the left of the photo. And that doesn't end up making the layout. I know you'll see me put the twine in there and that, but I end up not keeping that. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking maybe I should have. I really like the addition of that wood grain or that wood veneer on there. I think it looks really nice, but I don't end up keeping it. I add a couple of Tim Holtz charms to the layout instead, and you'll see those in a bit. So now I'm just taking a look at it and I'm thinking, what else could I add here? I mean, there's definitely a snowflake theme, and I have these really cute silver snowflake brads in my stash. So I'm trying those. I think, do I want those? But I don't really know if I want more than one. It looks too matchy-matchy. So then I took out my Felicity Jane stamps and I found this little file tab, and I just added the stamp hello to that, and I'm going to add that as another piece of the layers in the photo mat, and I like that. Now you can see I've already got one of those Tim Holtz charms and a die cut from the Felicity Jane collection, or the Felicity Jane kit that says you and me, and I'm going to add that just over there by those snowflakes on the left. And I'm thinking about adding this Tim Holtz charm as well to that die cut. I do tie that on there, and I do end up using a Tim Holtz charm there, but not this circular one. I end up using a snowflake there, but I do exactly the same thing with the snowflake that you see me doing here with this little circular disc. So I'm almost done with my 5 things. So I've heat embossed, I've dry embossed, I've used 2 different stamps. Now I'm going to use some twine on my layout at the top, which is another one of the things off the list. And the other thing I did was it said a new product, and the new product that I used was that wood grain paper from Pebbles. I have not used that yet. I have 2 sheets of it in my stash that I recently purchased, and I haven't used them. So that was a new product that I haven't used yet, and that was the last one of my 5 things. So this was a really fun challenge. I am actually going to link the pin from Pinterest that we use that is actually from Paper Tray Ink. And if you are thinking about doing the challenge, you can hop on over to Scrap a Clock on Facebook, and we will have, Kelly and I will post our layouts there and the challenge. And if you'd love to join in with us, you can post your projects over on Scrap a Clock. And you can definitely leave me a comment here and let me know. One thing I'd like to know is, do you think I should add some journaling to this layout? And if you think I should, where do you think I should add it? So you'll just see me here finishing up. I do end up adding some black splatters off camera and a little bit of stapling for some texture. And you'll be able to see that in the video here in the next little segment. I'm going to slow it down and show you what I did off camera. and then there will be some still shots at the end. So thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. Really appreciate your support here on YouTube, and thanks so much for joining in with Kelly and I for Scrap the Challenge. I will leave a link also in the description below for Kelly's video, so you can go over and check hers out on her channel. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys, and I'll see you another time. Bye bye.